Hello, greetings of the day. So today we'll be discussing about the core innovation of Ador AI and how it is bringing upgrade in the lives of people. The primary aspect that we'll be discussing today in a very brief way is that how a particular innovation or a startup is aimed to bring a sporadic upgrade or to bring that sort of difference that is in a way measurable and that directly impacts our lives. Just to give you an example, let's say, for example, if we take the difference between the conventional channels of transportation, let's say walking, compared to the channel, let's say bikes or let's say automobiles, or let's say aviation, then you can directly, figure out that by walking, it will take the time period of, let's say, 2 hours to reach from point A to point B. With automobiles or with bicycle or with two-wheeler, it will take a time frame of around 5 to 10 minutes. So that is the difference in the time that anyone is getting when they are traveling with the sort of the advanced tools and advanced vehicles. So that's just one of the examples. So as a startup, the primary aspect is how any particular innovation is bringing a upgrade in the lives of people, what sort of solution it is providing that is creating sporadic upgrade. And that's where, when any startup is trying to create anything from foundational principles, instead of copying the existing set of solutions, it's very difficult, it's very tough, because at the end of the day you are trying to create a sort of a solution or bring that sort of a offering which is not usually available, and which will upgrade lives of individuals in a particular considerate way. We have always tried to do that, and our consistent effort had been to bring that sort of sporadic upgrade in the lives of people. And it's very tough, because when you say that how any particular innovation is going to upgrade lives, or create a sort of difference in the way that uh, the solution that are existing right now, and how this particular solution will be enhancing their particular sort of requirement, it gets very tough. So my approach had been very clear that we would be going with hypothesis driven approach, wherein I would be saying that, okay, these are, let's say, the traditional ways of doing a particular thing and reaching a particular solution, and then this is Adore AI, and how Adore AI is providing the solution to that existing problem, and what sort of matrices is Adore AI providing. So when we compare both of them, we will figure out that whether Adore AI has that particular substantial innovation with it or not, or it does not have. If Adore AI has that substantial innovation, we will continue with building this particular company. If not, we'll move on to other particular companies. So what happens with innovative propositions? There are lots of innovative propositions out there. Some of them are around conscious diet. Let's say, for example, how can I make a tasty snack bite, which is helpful for calorie conscious people having less sugar and cholesterol, and at the same time very appealing, and has wellness ingredients in it. You know, or let's say, for example, how can I create a particular sort of food product which is oil free, and at the same time improving health of individuals. So let's say, for example, any sort of uh, uh, even if we talk about LLMs, it is just reducing the time span or information asymmetry. What it is primarily doing is that it is democratizing knowledge. So any knowledge that you consider would take lots of time for you to, synthesize. LLMs provide you in just minutes of, or even just few seconds. So that is the reduction that LLMs are providing. So on a broader level, there are 6 to 7 parameters that any innovation broadly touches upon. One of them is either the innovation is reducing time. Second is either it is providing a set of solution in a very affordable way with the same set of quality or standards, right? So affordability, uh, you know, cost. Then the third one is it provides you wide range of offerings. So say, for example, in a particular price point, you are getting 3 or 4 sort of offerings. Now at the same particular price point, you are receiving 10 to 15 different offerings, or even say 1,000 different offerings. Fourth is it uh, personalizes. It provides you the solutions which you consider they're just for you. Say for example, you are having a sort of chronic ailment, and you are looking for a personalized solution, and you are considering that how will I reach this personalized solution, what sort of technology would help me reach that. A particular innovation, it's not only resolving your chronic ailment but also upgrading you at the same time, and it is doing it for multiple people at scale. So personalization at scale in the segment of wellness, using proprietary technology or algorithm, that's a sort of innovation. So that is one particular very big area. Then the other area is, let's say, distance, or let's say uh, uh, procuring any sort of commodity or any sort of goods. Say for example, if any entity from location A wants to send any entity to location B, in with conventional traditional approach it would take 5 days. However, with innovative proposition now, that will reach in particular, let's say, 1 hour or 2 hour or even like half a day, right? Communication channels, earlier it used to cost around, let's say, 20 to 30 bucks to even call to a particular number outside of your nation, and you had to travel somewhere because there are no smartphones. Now smartphones can provide you offerings wherein you can not only just talk for hours, you can also video call them, you can do all sort of engaging stuff on different sort of platforms, be it social media platforms, or you can converse with them, do engaging activities, and it hardly feels that you are away from different people out there. So that's like a very big difference that we have seen. The smartphones, the way that it's like a sort of a mini computer that is provided to each and every one of us, which has the internet connectivity, which has the sort of capabilities to forge calls with people around, and at the same time you can do various sort of productivity tasks. It provides you the tools to even do your sort of office work and this and that. So uh, primarily, the higher the sort of value that a particular offering is providing, the more it creates upgrade. So that had been like the sort of the primary approach for us, to just be very clear on how this particular solution or offering is upgrading lives of people in one area or one or more areas. And when we started asking this sort of questions, it became very tough, because then we had to move with hypothesis, then we had to test the product in the market, then we had to test the innovation and see whether it is actually providing solution, being very honest with that, and then constantly upgrading on it. So in this particular presentation, we will be primarily diving deep into how Ador AI has uh, uh, you know created a sort of upgrades in one or more areas, and how it is like creating a clear difference in the lives of people. So I would just take with the presentation. So the first thing that is primarily visible is that we are providing suite of offerings. So we are like a personal growth and upgrade entity, and on it we have Adore Connections, Adore City, Adore Conversations, and various other personal growth and upgrade brands. Uh, each and every brand has in its own way a particular lever to provide upgrade for individuals individually. Collectively, all of them are also providing upgrade seamlessly. So talking about Adore Connections. So Adore Connections is primarily connecting like-minded people based on their common personal growth goals and interests. Okay. And let's compare it with a traditional platform. Say, for example, I am having interest into cooking and spirituality, and I am looking to upgrade myself in terms of having access to, uh, you know, uh, uh, particularly fitness modules, which will improve my BMI, which is body mass index, and get it consistent within the time frame of 2 to 3 months. So this is my personal growth goal. Now I'm looking to connect with like-minded people, and I am just trying to look out for a physical channels to do this. Uh, and I'm just trying to see if I can find someone who is having similar or complementary personal growth goals and interest and hobbies. uh, on physical channels it would be very tough for me to find. Even if I'm pursuing this interest, let's say cooking is a sort of activity which is very individual. And spirituality is also sort of activity which is very individualistic. So there might be groups around that are doing it. However, there wouldn't be a particular specialized sort of a particular platform or a physical avenue where people are connecting just for this. You know, uh, and that's where, if we compare this with physical platforms, if I'm trying to connect with anyone and trying to find or search anyone who is having similar sort of interest, hobbies, similar sort of goals, it would be very tough for me. It would take me days and days to do that, and I would give up, and I would be having other obligations and other tasks, which are like, say, around my work or related to my family and related to other responsibilities. So now I'm coming to online platforms. So once I realize that in physical way, it's very tough to find this sort of people, I'll come to online platforms. And on online platforms, what I generally find is that, okay, I can connect with people around around my location and around various sort of geographies. However, the variables are different. The variables are around, let's say, for example, my community, or let's say the variables are around my profession, or let's say the variables are primarily around my education and this and that. However, what about my personal growth goals? What about a platform which is specifically curated for my interest and hobbies? Let's say, for example, I go on for a walk every evening for five between 6 a.m. to between 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Is there any platform where I can connect with people in my same region, around my same age, having similar interest and hobbies, and they're also looking for the same personal growth goal of having, let's say, the BMI in place or having that particular hygiene in place? No, there is no platform, right? However, when I sign up on Ador AI, I know that I am signing up to meet people based on the common personal growth goals and interests. And once I create my profile, once I create my true profile that I am into cooking, I am into spirituality, I am into walking, and this is the particular personal growth goal I'm having, Ador AI would curate profiles which are similar to me. And based on 8 to 10 different variables, it will suggest me all the particular sort of individuals that are very much compatible for me. So now I can take due particular sort of say my time allotment for other different activities, because Adore AI has reduced my time. It has provided me what I was looking for in the first place. And at the same time, when I find compatible connections, I would be like, okay, at least I found 2 or 3 people around this interest and personal growth goals. And I have lots of things to talk about, and I have lots of things to engage with, and I have lots of things to know and upgrade myself. So that's the difference that Adore AI is bringing. Now, when we created this platform, the primary metrics that we had in the numerical aspect was like to pass ratio, that how many users are connecting with each other, and how many users are not like passing each other. So on traditional platforms, this is typically say 1:5 or 1:6. So on every one particular connection or any one particular preference of connecting with other individuals, there are 6 to 7 preferences of not to connect with other individuals. Adore AI changed that. Adore AI has 5 times improved ratio compared to conventional platforms. So what it suggests is that when we are connecting people based on their personal growth goals, based on their interests and hobbies, based on their in-depth profile, and based on the substantial variables, people are connecting with each other seamlessly, and they are looking for avenues to connect with each other. So, compared to other platforms, when any individual comes on Adore AI, they have 5 times more chances of getting a particular connect compared to online platforms. So, both in terms of physical and both in terms of online, we have made a significant difference. Wherein, if any individual is on any other platform, he would be like, okay, on a physical, it's way tough to find anyone who is, compatible to me. On online platforms, okay, I have signed up, I am connecting with people, however, they're not compatible or they are not around my interest, hobbies, around my personal growth goal. At the same time, they're in my location, profession, education, age, and all these things. Adore AI solves for that. The same person realizes that now there are 5 times higher chances of me finding anyone who is around the same sort of goal or same sort of interest or same sort of personal growth goal in my region, my locality, around my age, with my education. Solves for them in a very good way, because now they have someone to upgrade with, and that's what they're signing up for. Second feature that we introduced, it typically changed how people connected. So earlier, like on conventional platforms, there is no particular way that any individual can send a particular invite to each other, before getting connected. We introduced a feature where any individual can send a particular invite, that, okay, I'm into this interest. You are also in like some parallel interest. We have lots of things in common and we can upgrade with each other. Let's connect. A very normal feature, and it increased the connections by 2000%, and retention increased to 43.6% on weekly active user to monthly active user ratio. And there was stampede of individuals connecting on our platform. So what it primarily suggests is people are looking to connect with each other. They're looking for avenues. However, we need to provide them more avenues and gateways so that they can actually start talking. They can actually start being themselves and send a particular invite message. And that is a one big particular difference that we are having on our platform, where they can connect without uh, you know uh, getting accepted from other profiles. So they can just send an invite, and that particularly upgrades that particular bandwidth to connect with lots of people. Now coming to the second brand, which is Ador Grover City. So Ador Grover City primarily provides personal growth and upgrade content in 35 plus categories. So personal growth and upgrade is a very broader sort of a domain. If we dive deep into it, there are 35 to 40 different categories of personal growth and upgrade. And what we have done primarily is to create very specialized knowledgeable content for personal growth and upgrade in each and every of this category. So once we curated this particular specialized content, the second factor that was important for us was how we can make it engaging. So we created very short videos, short images, and bite-sized sort of quotes and tips and all those things, because now in the world where people are having so less attention, they want something which is engaging, short, bite-sized, and specialized. That's what Adobe Grover City did. The primary differentiation of Adobe Grover City that we are providing is that it is having personalization. So now consider a repository of 20 to 30,000 content pieces across 35 plus domains of personal growth and upgrade. You have such a vast knowledge of information. However, people still want something which is available to them in a very personalized. Say, for example, if I am having my personal growth goal of getting my body mass index into place within 3 months, I want content around that. I want content around my interest and hobbies, which is, say, spirituality, cooking, walking. So if there is a repository of 20,000 content pieces, I may read, I may not read, if I get that sort of bandwidth of or time to access all sort of repository or not. However, what if AI can filter out the sort of content which is just for me, uh, extract it and then suggest it to me. So we introduced personalization. So now what Grover City does is it understands each and every individual, their interests, their personal growth goals, their preferences, their persona, and then creates a personalized feed of content, extracts the sort of information which is very important, scores them, and suggests to these users. So out of this 15,000 content pieces, okay, you are only getting suggestions of those particular content pieces which are for you, which are specially curated for you. So now just imagine you are going in a particular library and it has 15,000 to 20,000 books, and you are like, okay, uh, all this library and all these books, they're awesome, they're impressive. However, my genre or my interest is just into these two three categories, and I like to dwell my mind around across these two three genres. Now consider some sort of an agent who curates all sort of information based on your interests, your preferences, and your profile, and provides it to you. You are like, okay, now this library understands me. it is talking with me, and it is suggesting me something which will lead to my upgrade. And it primarily it is emphasized on my preferences and my particular sort of inclinations. So in that way, I'm like completely impressed, or I'm completely surprised that okay, I'm getting those sort of personal growth and upgrade information which I was looking for, which is calibrated for me, my preferences, my taste, my inclinations. That's what Diversity is doing, and we are doing it at scale using AI for 35 plus categories of personal growth and upgrade. So now no one is left out. If any person is having a very specialized sort of preference in their personal growth goal, if any individual is having very specialized emphasis on their sort of interest and hobbies, they are like, what if I do not get information or knowledge or sort of engaging content around it? No, you will find it on Groversity, and you will not only find it on Groversity, Groversity will extract it out for you. It will score the content, it will suggest all those things which are especially curated for you. So you will feel as if this is just for me, and that's what is the difference, which is personalization. So comparing it with the physical world and with the online world. Let's go with the physical world. Say, for example, I am into cooking, spirituality, music, dance, and I am having 2 or 3 personal growth goals. Now, I am looking for content in a physical way around all these things, which is related to my persona and all this interest in personal growth goals. I may go to libraries, I may go on to, read books, I may go on to read some brochures and some of the articles and documents and some of the papers and all. However, it will be very much disintegrated. So it will take me lots of time to synthesize and extract all these things, and then to couple it up, and then to make notes around it. Okay, so that is like the sort of a disintegration. The content is there, the information knowledge is there, however it is disintegrated, and then it takes me lots of effort, lots of time to find it out, to locate it, to search it. And that's where I would consider that, man, I have other obligations again and I have lots of work to do. So I would not find it good enough to do all this sort of havoc and do lots of put lots of this efforts around all these things. Instead, I can just look for online world. So now I'm going to online world, and I'll be very honest, there are personal growth and upgrade contents available on online world in a in a very huge capacity. So there are blogs, there are specific articles, there are specific books that you can download online, or there are specific videos available online. And there are like lots of uh, lots of specialized personal growth and upgrade content available. Again, what will happen, that is not curated for me. So internet or any other platform is not curating that content for me especially. It is not taking that efforts to understand me, to know my persona, to know my personal growth goals and hobbies and interests, to know my sort of uh, preferences and my sort of inclinations. So I would find it extremely difficult to synthesize all these things, to extract it, and to curate a sort of compilation of all these things. So in short, I would consider that okay, there's lots of information around, revolving around the domains of personal growth and upgrade. However, again, there's like lots of tasks that is required for me. So what now? What should I do now? So let me just go on Groversity. Now let me see what is happening. On Groversity, I am creating my profile. And now Groversity knows my attributes, knows my interest, hobbies, personal growth goals, and finally, it has know-how of my preferences and my inclinations. Not only that, it is having like a very huge repository of content around 35 plus categories, and it is specially curating that feed in 4 different engaging content formats just for me. So now when I'm opening Groversity, I'm like, is Groversity knowing my personal growth goals, and is it having already all that information and about my preferences and inclinations? and it has already made that efforts to curate that particular repository and feed for me. So I'll be like, man, I was looking to find how this particular chef cooked this particular recipe, and now it is available. Man, I was looking to achieve that fitness goal, and I was looking for that information of how this XYZ celebrity achieved this fitness goal. And man, this particular information is now available on Grover City, and it is layering out all those information of how this celebrity achieved that fitness goal within a short span of time. I was looking for it everywhere, and now it is available to me in a very, in a very quick way. And now I'm like, okay, so this is the sort of engaging content that I was looking for in the domain of personal growth and upgrade, in the fields, in the inclinations that align with me, and it perfectly makes sense. Now consider there are 1 lakh or 100,000 people, and Grover City can do this personalized feed curation in the domain of personal growth and content for them within few seconds parallelly at the same time, and the content would be very engaging. It will be short, specialized. So that is the difference that Grover City is providing. In terms of what are conversations, everyone is having some interest in hobbies, and everyone is looking for channels to listen to real world leaders who followed their interest in hobbies and who went on to follow their heart and went on to achieve something big in their lives. Now, where is the compilation of all those stories of leaders, and where can I find, a thematic sort of a channel just around interest in hobbies, and which just tries to encapsulate the journeys of leaders around following their interest and hobbies, around their personal growth goals, around their milestones, and that is conversation. So now we don't only have a technological component, which is, let's say, AI, which is curating personalized content, which is a proprietary algorithm which is connecting you with like-minded people. We also have a conversation channel where you have access to leaders who have followed their interests and hobbies, who were at the same sort of a juncture where you are right now, and who had their own sort of journey, and who went on to achieve prolific milestones, and they followed their heart, and they kept on following their interest and hobbies or their personal growth goals, and they achieved their sort of milestone. So now I also have uh, the people's lives and their stories accessible to me. And say, for example, if I'm into fitness, I have 5 to 6 fitness leaders who are talking about how they achieved that body tone, or how they went on to achieve that BMI or their fitness goal. If I'm in dancing, I have 5 to 6 leaders in dance who are talking about how they started, how this particular hobby upgraded their mind, body, soul. What are the different institutes that provide education? What are the different sort of leaders who are available, and how to access them online and offline? If I'm into, let's say, fitness, dancing, or even say music, how the industry looks like, how the particular sort of leader started, every sort of input around the journeys which are not accessible, com- compilation of that, and which is very thematic in nature. You talk about any interest and hobby, we have leader on that, and who have actually shared their information, their sort of journey in all sort of aspects, how they started, who were their mentors and leaders, who what sort of schools they attended, what upgrade they got in themselves after following their interest and hobby, what are the different sort of ways to track progress, and how they went on to achieve milestones, what sort of tenacity they had when it came to following this interest and hobby, and uh, what was the earlier version of them and what it is now. Everything across 10 to 15 different interest categories. So a very good thematic conversation channel, differentiated one, which is one of its kind in India. And you can talk about any interest and hobby. We have a leader in that particular domain, and you can listen to uh, how they went on to achieve what they went on to achieve. And now you are not in that information asymmetry, wherein you are like, okay, I have read all this information online. I've read PDF brochures, I've surfed on the internet. However, I've never talked or listened to any leader who has actually went on to do all these things. I don't know about their lives. So I don't know what will be my trajectory or how my career journey would span out if I go on to do XYZ or if I go on to follow XYZ domain. That information asymmetry, that uncertainty, that sort of a fear factor or that sort of doubt factor that we have in ourselves, that is removed. Because now these leaders, they are talking about their journey, their interest and hobbies, their sort of milestones, and each and every part which is very substantial, which is very much required. So now you have sort of people on whose path you want to go, and you have some sort of frame of references. So now you have some sort of calibrations, and that's something that we have done with Ador conversations. So now, compiling each and every brand and just talking about the difference that difference or the upgrade that Ador AI is bringing for you. The first is personalization of upgrade content, which I already talked about. You may find personal growth and upgrade content online, and you may make efforts and find it offline. However, it won't be personalized. You would never feel that this content is curated just for me. And when you open Cloversity, you will find that content in a very engaging way, and you will feel as if this is just curated for me. You know, it's, let's say for example, it's sort of a online book wherein all those sort of genres and all those sort of stories are synthesized based on your inclination and your preferences. It's as simple as that. Second is higher depth of profiles with compatibility. So even if you go to offline world, it would be very hard for you to find profiles which are around personal growth goals and around interest and hobbies. On online world, you may find profiles. However, the sort of engagement that you receive, it would be very generic. On Ador AI, you and enter any interest or enter any personal growth goal, you will find people around in your location, your age, your particular sort of education or preference, and all these particular variables when we keep into adherence. What happens is you see that you are getting higher engagement compared to any other platform. So now you know what you're signing up for. You are signing up for personal growth and upgrade based connections. You are finding people around it, and your interactions and your conversations are just enough. Third is higher engagement ratio, which I mentioned. On conventional platforms, you may find people, however, the depth of profiles and the compatibility and adherence to personal growth goals is limited. On Ador AI, you will find that the engagement ratio is almost 5 times. That's what we have observed during the prime of our particular sort of platform engagement matrices. Fourth is reduced time compared to physical channels. As I earlier mentioned, you may go on to find personal growth content offline based on your preference. Say, for example, I have a XYZ individual is having a chronic ailment, and he is looking to receive a solution of that based on yogasana. And he wants to know the techniques of yogasana that may help around. He may go on to find it online. However, when he comes to particular Ador AI, if he creates his profile and keeps his personal growth goal, he would find content around yoga, fitness, that is around, how yoga helps in removing chronic ailments, how yoga helps in removing XYZ issue, how fitness helps in achieving ABC goal, how dancing helps in getting this particular milestone. So that particular sort of personalized upgrade based knowledge you now have within few seconds. On top of it, now you can find people based on your common personal growth goals and interest, which would be very tough for you to do individually. Finally, what we are having is affordable plan for suite of offerings. So now consider a platform which provides you connections, wherein you can find your personalized content around personal growth goals and based on your inclination and preferences, where you can do engaging interactions and send messages and all these things. And finally, you also have a sort of a coach wherein you can just talk about your personal growth goals and all these things, and you will receive a planner. All these particular activities on the normal online platforms, you will have to do it individually. Okay, there is no one-stop platform where you can get access of all these things in one particular place. Ador AI provides that in one particular package at an affordable price point. So you may find other platforms which are providing one or two services, and we are providing the same sort of services, however, in one-stop platform wherein you get four different offerings at a price point which is 20% less of the conventional channel. So on conventional channel, you may find a particular solution at a price point of, let's say, 10, and you will get one offering. On Ador AI, you are getting 3 to 4 offerings which are personalized, AI driven at price point of 8. So 4x deliverables at 80% discount. That's the biggest sort of surplus that you are getting on Ador AI. So that's what we have done with Ador AI, and I had been very honest with the approach that I had for Ador AI. My primary approach was, if the hypothesis works, if the innovation is actually showing me results which are credible, I would continue. Else, there is no particular way to say that this innovation is upgrading lives of people in any way. And across all these 4 to 5 different parameters, Ador AI has created seamless upgrade for individual service. And that's what gives us conviction. That's what makes us say that, okay, in some particular areas or domains, we have done a sort of you know, considerable task. And as said, like, innovations are always sort of a high risk rate, high risk sort of uh, um, high risk sort of, you know, attempts. So you never know, like, whether you are trying to bring that innovation, whether you will be able to ship that product or not. You ship that product, you never know how it will upgrade the lives of people. You give it in the hands and hearts of people, whether their lives would be upgraded or it would be all same. So the third part is, you actually go on to measure, you go on to have a calibration, a matrice that talks and says that, okay, this is the upgrade in the lives of people that we have brought. What is that particular matrice that is bringing that upgrade? So that is the third parameter. And at that third parameter, you are honest. You are saying that if the matrices are showing that people's lives is all same with your particular sort of innovation or without your innovation, you say that this is not working. Okay. However, if it shows counterintuitive matrices, and, and you are like, okay, now this is the upgrade that people are seeing in their lives, it makes sense. So that's what Ador AI has plunged into and has successfully gained sort of matrices and ratios, which are showing that, you know, it has upgrade. It has lots of potential to upgrade lives of people, and already it's providing lots of surplus to individuals around. And we are pretty much confident that we can provide lots of growth to every type of stakeholder, and ensure their sort of growth parameters with Ador AI. So that's what Ador AI's innovation milestones are all about, and that's what we have calibrated. Thank you.